What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today we're playing Narfi, Betrayer King in Historic Brawl. He's a 4 mana Demir 4/3 zombie wizard. So other snow and zombie creatures you control get +1/+1. You can pay 3 snow mana and return this creature from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. I'm not sure if that gets taxed by commander tax, but we'll find out. If it doesn't, that's a really great effect. Means that we don't have to worry about Narfi going to the graveyard. We can just bring him back from the graveyard for 3 mana. So it's essentially zombie tribal. I have a couple snow creatures in here, but it's essentially 99% zombie tribal. And as you can tell, it's mostly black cards. It is a Demir commander, but most of the zombies are in black. Some of them are in blue. Most of them are in black. And so because of that, we could... I mean, Grey Merchant is a zombie, so that's great, but we can also do mono black devotion things, right? Where we make the opponent lose life and we gain X life, where it's our devotion to black. Our devotion to black will be very high. Grave Pact, whenever creature you control dies, each other player sacrifices a creature. It's essentially just zombie tribal aggro, right? Not a lot to dissect here. Just a bunch of zombies and trying to get in and smash the opponent's face, and then we have effects like Grave Pact and Grey Merchant to kind of finish the game. Some notable cards, Icebreaker Kraken, which is one of the snow creatures. So this costs 1 less to cast for each snow land we control, which we have a fair amount of, as you can see on the right. And when it comes down, it locks all the opponent's creatures, and it's an 8/8. And the creatures don't untap during the next untap phase, so that's a finisher as well. Mortal Sun just buffs all our creatures, makes our spells cost 1 less, draws us an extra card, turns off planeswalkers. So we don't have any planeswalkers in this deck, I don't think, except for 1, Liana. So it's unlikely that we draw this and this in the same game. If we do, I guess we'll just have to figure that out. But we'll probably play Liliana because it makes us a zombie every turn. When our creatures die, we draw cards. We can make the opponent sack creatures. Then if we get to the -9, we just win the game. And then we just have the typical like blue tempo stuff like River's Rebuke and Cyclonic Rift, just to clear a path for our zombies. And then when we have a bunch of zombies in the graveyard, we can play Lolith the Giant and deal 1 damage to target opponent for each creature card in our graveyard. So, you know, we don't mind if stuff dies. We have ways of turning that into value. And then we have, you know, if our commander dies, we have a way to bring it back. So, you know, typical like zombie stuff. Just put down a bunch of zombies, gain a bunch of value, smash in their face, and hopefully we can win the game. So let's see if we can get some wins with this. This was a viewer requested deck. I don't have all the zombies on Arena. I don't have like the Scarab God, which is a notable missing card, and a couple others, but these are all the zombies I did have, so which is quite a lot. So let's see if we can get some wins. Hopefully I do the deck justice. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe. If you've been watching and haven't subscribed yet, been coming back to the channel but haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out. Agatha of the Vile Cauldron. Activate abilities of creatures you control cost X less to cast, where X is Agatha of the Vile Cauldron's power. This effect can't reduce the mana cost to less than 1. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, gain trample and haste. I wonder if it's the first ability or the second ability that they built the deck around. Alright, so we're essentially both aggro decks. This is alright. We need to draw more lands, but we'll keep... They get to go first, but we get to draw first. Guilty Goose. Hong Kong. Alright, cool. Drew a land. Perfect. We're slowly reducing the cost of this Icebreaker Kraken. Okay. Are they gonna attack? No? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good for them. I think we just keep the pressure going. We have more cards in hand than them too, so us losing some creatures doesn't hit us as hard as it hits them. I never thought about how the +1/+1 actually buffs Narfi as well. I didn't think about that. So it comes down and it's automatically a 5/4. Oh, that's awkward. Protection from blue and black. Nice. Okay. Well, now. I think we just keep the pressure on. I mean, I know they have protection from blue and black, but that's only this creature. So they can kill one creature. Okay, we get to scry. Oh, because it's not a zombie. Gotcha. We can't put it in our hand. Interesting. Are they doing like Voltron or something? Because they've only played 2 creatures. Great Henge. Okay. That's really good for them. They're not attacking. Very weird. Okay, well. Choose this one because it's not a zombie yet. It flips into a zombie, but we don't really want to waste time doing that. We can just get it back. Yep, they have protection. Decline. Reveal. Gonna sack some food, gain some life. Okay. Alright, they got two pretty good blockers now. Alright, that doesn't really help us here. Yeah, it looks like we can just bring them back for the 3 snow. Well, I think it's going to be hard to beat them from here because they have card draw every time they play a creature. They can gain 2 life with this every turn. We can't really attack through their 9/5 and their 6/6. We're not drawing any snow permanents, except for this. But I mean, this is still very far away. Yep. And then they can give all their creatures trample. Uh-huh. Yep. GG. They drew the perfect card, which was protection from blue and black. So we it stalled our whole aggro game plan. Pretty unlucky, but it happens. I think if they hadn't drawn that card, I think we would have put them under a lot more pressure, and when they finally did get their other stuff down, it might have been too late, but okay, kind of this card's in our deck. It's kind of a similar thing. Makes zombies. 1 mana Death Toucher. Could we go first, client? Is that possible? All right. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep. We have zombies. We have mana. No complaints. Bloodgath. Okay, pretty good. This is a great card in our deck. I didn't go over it in the intro, but if we cycle it, they can lose life equal to the number of zombies we control. Kind of similar to Grave Merchant. It's kind of funny we have both in our hand. We have another land. Okay, we have 8 power. We'll see if they want to attack. They probably do. Keep the swarm. Okay, sure. Oh, I guess it doesn't buff him. I must have had that other creature down that was buffing him before. For some reason I thought he was getting buffed by himself, but it does say other. Okay, that's a good blocker. Make the Writhing Necromass potentially cost less. Yeah, yeah. Wow, right into the Death Toucher, huh? Okay. Pay 2 life, bring it back. Pretty cool card. I think the Power Stones are a little bit underrated as an artifact. This can become a flyer, which is awesome. So this is a problem right now, but eventually if we can get them down, their life total down, they're not going to be able to activate this. Wow. Just right in there. Yeah, they know. They know they gotta get rid of that. Yep, they can just keep playing it, keep equipping. It's a bummer they got rid of our flyer, because that was going to be key to getting their life total down. Okay. Not too big of a hit. 5. We drain them for 5, we gain 5. So we're basically just in a stalemate. I mean, they're going to keep attacking every turn. We're going to have to chump. I think we won't block this turn. No blocks. We could start blocking with Narfi and bring it back every turn if we want. That is an option. I didn't think about that, but we could do that. We could play Zolport Cutthroats to start gaining life. Small amount of life back. Oh, well, never mind. There's the Death Touch Snake. Yeah. Well, I guess we just keep playing zombies and try to get them with this card. Okay, you're gonna lose some life. Now at least if they make us lose creatures, or make our creatures die, they lose life and we gain life. Alright. Yep. Oh wow, we actually drained them twice. Because of this guy too. That's really good. Resolve. Oh, that's even better. Okay. Oh, it comes into play tapped. Shoot. Okay, well. We can still block. Now at least we draw cards when we block. Comes into play tapped. Oh, I guess there's no timing restriction on this, huh? So I could do it on their turn. Okay, I think that's right. Yeah. Alright. They got their little combat tricks too. You've done your job. Ooh. Oh, that's a great draw. We'll see what they do. Yeah, draw some cards. This might win us the game. We'll see what they do. Pass. Oh, they attack all? They attack all, huh? So we have 5 blockers. I can't see what this is. Okay, so we got... What's their 5 biggest things? We have 3 timeouts. We have time to look at this. This obviously, this, and then a bunch of 2/2s. So their weakest creatures are a 1-1, and a bunch of... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could let 3 through. So we would take like 4 damage maximum here if we just block with everything. Or we could get Westville Abbey and block this guy and take what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and gain 9. So we would get... Yeah, I mean... I think we do it. We drain them as well. I think that's it. I think we did it without even needing the creature. I just stumbled into lethal. Wow. I felt like we were losing that entire game, and then all of a sudden we just sack all our creatures and we're good. But see, this would have happened anyway if we blocked with everything, right? Because a lot of it would have died. GG. Whoa, okay. So, okay, obviously I was thinking that we would get Westville Abbey, or whatever the creature side of it is called, and we would... It's a flying indestructible lifelinker, so we would block the 12/12, we'd take all this damage, but we'd gain the life back, and then next turn they'd be tapped out, and we'd swing in and kill them. So that would have done it too, but I didn't even think about all the triggers from all the deaths. From all our creatures dying. Wow. Okay. That's why Zulaport Cutthroat and those types of effects are in the deck. Someone watching was probably screaming at their screen, just sack all your creatures. Hey, I got there. I got there eventually. We'll do one more. It is nice to play a commander that's not in, you know, Hell Queue or the sub Hell Queue, where we're kind of playing like all these commanders that I normally don't see. Like, I don't think I've ever seen this card before. Mono green. Mythweaver Pox power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever one or more non-token lands enter the battlefield under your control. Non-token lands? Can you make token lands? Into the battlefield under your control. For each of them, conjure a duplicate of it onto the battlefield. This ability triggers only once each turn. What the hell? So whenever one or more non-token lands enter the battlefield under your control, for each of them, conjure a duplicate of it onto the battlefield? That's insane. How have I never heard of this card? So this like creates, I mean, it is an alchemy card, but it creates a land out of thin air and puts it on the battlefield, so it triggers all your landfall stuff twice. That's insane. Okay, Well, yeah, I mean, this is a good hand, so we'll keep. We get to go first, so no complaints there. Do it like that. Probably start off with Mire Triton, since it's a death toucher. What is this? We'll save that for their commander. It's the second game in a row where I've milled the Immortal Sun off the top. Like on my first mill trigger. That's funny. I still don't know if you can do the return to the battlefield at instant speed. We should figure that out this game if we can. They're thinking about attacking. If they attack, I'm not blocking. I'm saving this for their commander. Because their commander's going to get gigantic. And it doesn't have trample. Okay. No lands, huh? Alright, we'll just put the biggest power toughness creatures in front. Go from there. So if we attack, then what? They lose some of their ramp, but I think it's more valuable as a blocker, so we'll keep it back. They can play their commander here. It comes down as a 2/2. River's Rebuke's probably really good against this deck if we ever get to enough mana. Yep. And then what? They play a land and then they get another land? That's insane. I mean, it's a very cool effect, but that is very, very powerful. So I need to put this in all my landfall decks. Because I think that counts as another ETB for your land, right? What they get rid of? As long as it's your turn, creature control have hexproof. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns. Okay, so it like flips. Power toughness gives hexproof. This has been in our like opening hand every single game. No attacks. Yeah, this needs to be in every single green deck. Honestly, this is really, really powerful. I don't know how I've never heard of this. I mean, I guess it's a mythic, so fair enough. But like, it just doubles your lands. That's insane. Really pairs well with Phyrexian Scrapyard, another alchemy card. So hopefully we just have this staring match until I get to 6 mana, then I bounce all their stuff and swing in for lethal. These are all zombies, right? No, this is not. This flips into a zombie, but it's not a zombie. This is a zombie. Nice, cool. So this triples the effect then? So what are they? They gotta be playing like Eldrazi and stuff. Yeah. Uh-huh. Very cool. Okay, now it's a 3/3. These are in the graveyard because of this. Well, you know what's funny is we could bounce this and make it so they can't replay these lands. With this guy. Make a zombie. And that might give us some time. Is this a token? See, I don't know with conjured cards if you bounce it to their hand if it goes back to their hand. So I didn't want to do Soul of No Phyrexia. Nope, of course they have probably the best land in their deck. Now they have 2 of them. Oh, well, it's legendary, so they had to sack it. Sure. One, two, three. So they can make positive mana if they want to. No, they can't. No. Devotion has to be... Devotion has to be 3 or higher is what I was going to say, but now it's way higher, so they're good. Is this additional lands? No. Okay, so now they have 2 giant trample creatures. That is really not what we needed. So, easy 7 mana. Cool. Well, they're gonna have to sack one of them. And you're gonna have to sack one of those too. Yeah, so see, like, conjure cards become actual cards, which I don't think they should. I think they should change that rule. I think conjured cards should be, like, tokens, so that if they leave the battlefield, they disappear. But they're treated like they appear out of thin air, but then, just like tokens do, but then they stay as real cards. I don't think that's how that should work, personally. Like, I should be able to bounce this Soul of New Phyrexia, and then it disappears, because it's technically a token. Gotta kill that. They're gonna trample in for a lot of damage, but we gotta kill the Ancient Green Warden. It's too much value. Sure. Yep. Gain Indestructible. I think that's GG. I mean, very. You know, I'm a little salty, but this is a very cool card. But I still like alchemy cards. Still really bother me. Like this. They would never print a card that did this effect. Right? Very cool, and I'll probably build a commander deck around it, but you can see how broken it is. And that's the thing with alchemy cards. They either are awful or they're broken. So this is a case of one that's broken. Cool deck, though. We'll do one more game. I feel like nothing really happened in that last game. Nothing interesting. It was just them doing their mono green thing. I know that I'll build that deck though, and it'll suck because I can't play mono green decks. I've tried. If I play against them, they're really good. If I play them, they suck. Gyruda, okay. Doesn't seem like nearly the same power level, but sure. Sure. No blue mana. At least we get to go first. 2 lands. Sure. Yes, I would like to draw the highest mana value card in my deck. That's exactly what I wanted on turn 3. So Gyruda, if you didn't play during the... What was it? Ikoria? Is that what... I don't remember which plane the mutate creatures were on. Or the companion... Sorry, not the mutate. The companion creatures. But, you can read that there. Essentially, we each mill 4 cards. They get to take a creature. We'll do it like this. Okay, we'll get rid of the Kraken for now because it's so far away. Wistful Abbey's nice though. Sure. Player commander. Black market, alright. Hit him for 4. This is a good card. We could play it at flash speed too, which is nice. Oh, they can Gyruda. I didn't think about that. So, can they just take out my Icebreaker Kraken? I did not consider that. Or is it from their deck? Each player, put a creature card with an even mana value from among the mill cards on the battlefield under your control. Okay. Is that the only even mana value? Is that why that worked that way? Okay, so if we have to discard stuff, do odd. No, that's even. I don't know. Yeah, my turn. So they have 2 6/6s. We have a Death Touch Lifelinker. This will get stuff out of our graveyard, so let's play it. Get rid of that. We do not want them to have that. Hello. Now they probably have ways to blink this with like Thassa or I can't remember the blue blink effects, but I'm sure they have them so they can get the ETB again. What does this land do? Whenever you cast a permanent spell using mana produced by this, up to one other target permanent you control becomes a copy of that spell. Okay. Sure. Okay, they're gonna hit the Lich. Yep. You have a counter spell in your Gyruda deck? Sure. I guess that's a fitting counter spell. We'll just get rid of that thing. Even mana costs. We'll just pass. We'll play as a flash speed. Okay, that's fine. Make them use that on their turn. Nice. Seems good. Juke a Bog. Okay. Take action. Block the 6/6. Yep. Not a land. Exile my graveyard. Gotta say, it's weird that they have exile graveyard effects, because wouldn't they want, well, I guess it's among the milled cards. Okay, okay. So that's why it doesn't matter if they exile my graveyard. Never mind. Terror Grid, okay. You have an odd mana value creature in your even mana value matters deck. Checks out. It's too little, too late. Yeah. GG. Alright, well, we won one game, so that's, you know, that's more than I honestly expected to win with this deck. But, yeah, we'll do a deck review. I think this would be a fun commander. You know, there's a lot of really great legendary creatures that are fun commanders, that I think you could build really cool decks. but they just don't work in Historic Brawl, because Historic Brawl works more like 60 card, where, yeah, I explain this a lot, so I'm sorry if I've explained this before, but you know, this card works really well in Commander because it buffs your zombies. There's a lot more cards to choose from in Commander that don't exist on Arena. The ability to bring it back from the graveyard, I think it's at instant speed. We never got to try that, but I think you can do it at instant speed, is a very cool effect. So you always have this creature, right? So maybe you put it in a deck where sacrifice matters or something like that. There's more ways that you could build around this in Commander, and since you have 3 other opponents, they're not always going to be trying to remove this. They're not always going to be down your throat. But in Historic Brawl, you have to really answer the opponent's threats, and a zombie deck is just not going to answer the opponent's threats. I thought about making this like half zombies and half good Dimir cards, and that would have probably been a functional deck, but I thought it was taking away from the spirit of the card, right? Which is to buff your zombies and other snow creatures. So I didn't do that, but I did it on purpose because I wanted to see how a deck that's true to the nature of this card would actually run, and the answer is not great, right? I mean, you're still gonna play, you know, against Gyruda, right? And that broken alchemy green card that we saw. So this just doesn't have the same kind of power level as those cards, and Arena doesn't have a great way of matching you up against commanders that are equal to your power level. They just put you against whatever and, you know, say, here you go, have fun. So, you know, usually when I try commanders like this that are, you know, fringe commanders, they're, you know, they're uncommons that have like maybe a cool ability, but they're not format defining. They usually don't do very well in Historic Brawl because everyone else is playing the good stuff, and the matchmaker is going to put you against those decks. So I would say if you really, like, this is your favorite card ever and you really want to build a Historic Brawl deck around it, you're probably just going to have to build Dimir Control, and maybe even like a Dimir Control sacrifice deck, and then you use Narfi as a way to, like, you know, get a creature every turn because you can return it to the battlefield for 3 mana, right? So maybe you put in a bunch of you know, sacrifice matters cards and things like that, you know, and then you build that kind of deck. That could work. It would still be janky, but that would be a lot more, that you would be able to include all the good Dimir cards, and so that would make it more playable. Right now we just have like a bunch of zombies, and the zombies by themselves are not powerful, and so it's really depending on the commander to make them powerful, and you know, just the +1/+1 buff isn't enough. But yeah, anyway, I always like trying new decks. So, but I feel like when people ask me to try the decks, they really want an honest review of how it does. And so that's what I'm going to give you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, I think I did, was that mono green Thrun or Thrun deck the other day, and I didn't win a single game, but you know, I explained why. It's the same kind of concept. Like, the card is good, and I think in Commander that card would be really good, but in Historic Brawl it's too sweaty. I mean, that's what it comes down to. The format is too sweaty. It'd be like if you hopped into Standard and you were like, oh, let me put my favorite pet cards in, or you hopped into Modern or Vintage and you're just like, I just want to put my favorite card in and then try to win some games. It doesn't work that way because the format's too powerful. So same thing here. Historic Brawl is just too powerful. In order to compete and win games consistently, you have to have powerful cards, and usually that means you have to have a powerful commander, or at least a commander that's very, you can build a powerful deck around, right? So that's my review of Narfi. Really cool card. Would love to see an actual commander deck of it. Maybe someday I'll build a commander deck of it and play a commander with it, but in Historic Brawl, I'm not sure it's going to cut it. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you liked the video, tell me down below. Tell me if I, you know, missed any cards in here. I told you I don't have every zombie. Some of the good zombies as well, like Scarab God. So that would have helped, but I don't really think the like 5 or 6 zombies that I'm missing that are good would really change anything about this deck, right? It's still the same deck. I think, however, if you make your commander the Scarab God, that's way different. right, then the deck is very powerful. So if you want to do a zombie deck, you should probably, and especially in Dimir colors, you should probably do the Scarab God. That's what I would choose if I was going to do zombie tribal in Dimir. This card is not nearly as powerful as the Scarab God. So, maybe you could even take the same deck and just replace it with the Scarab God, and maybe you would have a good deck. I don't know. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.